what you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. You think you've got my number figured
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Coach's Corner, Week 5. We missed a week. As stuff going on, we all got busy. We are back. We're ready to go. I'm joined, as always, by UConn coach, Coach Pars. Pars, how you doing tonight, bud?
Fantastic. We're back, Drake. We are back. Like you said, we missed last week. Things got a little hectic. The RFCL's got hectic since we've been gone, but we're back and ready to cover it.
Glad to hear. The chat's already going crazy. Got guys talking about who's number 2. Well, guys, we'll go over the polls. We'll go over the matchups. Go over next week's matchups. Obviously, some big games this week. Some playoff implications coming up for sure. Some people will be eliminated. Some people will be for sure in. First, we had a bit of an announcement today. So I'm going to show you all the video. Part of the video brought to you by Gage. Here it is, guys.
Announcement.
What you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the
you all hear
RFCL
it.
Commissioner, Mr. Gage, coming at you live
Second
on
here.
this
I gotta
beautiful
fix
Sunday
this
night
audio
where we
nonsense.
are
I
6
didn't know
days
he was
away
playing
from college football season. I have a couple of announcements for you guys. Number one, I want to congratulate Mr. Brent, otherwise known as Pars, as he will be the RFCL Commissioner starting in Season 3, or probably after signing day. So that will be that transition going forward. I will be
So I just want to play that part for my co-host here. Pars will be the commissioner starting season 3 after signing day. I think y'all already caught the end of it there. Gage announced that today. Came out today. Pars, congratulations, man. Glad to have you. Taking over really for Blake. Blake stepped down. Gage has been commissioner since then, but Pars taking over season 3. Congratulations, man. We're excited. How excited are you for you, and what do you got? What do you got in store for us?
I'm extremely excited. Didn't know you were going to play that clip. You told me you had a surprise for me.
I did.
I'm extremely excited going into this. At the end of the day, I thought I'd just throw my name in and see what happens. And it turns out throwing my name in was the right call. So I'm extremely passionate about the RFCL. Like, I put my heart in this league. So I plan on bringing it to there, and I'm not going to burn down anything Blake does, even though I don't like him. It'll be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think we're all looking forward to it. We're all pretty passionate about this league. We're very excited for we got into Force Man. So, season 3, Commissioner Pars will be. Hopefully, I'm still on Coach's Corner. Maybe we call it Commissioner's Corner. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. As far as that goes, let's get them straight into business. We don't have the current polls for this week. The polls have not been released yet. However, we do have the polls from last week, and me and future Commissioner Pars will go over what we think is going to be next week. Pars, actually, I'll go first on this one. I'll just go through it because your team's probably one of the main controversy here. So, last polls we had: UCO's 1, UConn 2, App State 3, G-Town 4, UCA 5, Upper Iowa 6, Miami 7, Coastal 8, NDSU 9, Montana was 10. Now, obviously, there was a lot of debate going into this week. Who was number 1, who was number 2, in UConn and UCO. I think for now, that argument has been shut down. I don't think there's much debate about that right now. No offense, Pars, but UCO got that win, they say there. Now people are like, well, who's number 2, App State or UConn? App State's undefeated, but UConn is still clear number 2 team. In my mind, I don't think there's any debate about that. App State has no right to that position at all. UConn's still clearly in the upper tier of the league. That being said, App State is your clear number 3. And I think I'll say keep G-Town at 4. And then I'm not real sure. I missed some of the games this week. UCA won again, I believe. So I would keep them at 5. I every kind of where they're at, really, to be honest with you. Montana lost. NDSU got a win, I believe, did they not?
Mm-hmm.
They beat Coastal?
They beat Coastal.
So I would put Coastal at 8. Sorry, NDSU at 8. Coastal at 9. Montana still down at 10. So I would keep everyone kind of where they're at. I don't see anybody moving too much. You can maybe put NDSU over Miami, but probably not yet. Just for sneaking chat, I understand they lost, but they lost to hands down the best team in the league right now. Like, it's not like they lost to somebody and it's like, oh, they're falling off. Like, there was 2 juggernauts in the league, and for this one came out on top. You know, maybe it's like last year. Last year we had 2 juggernauts, and it was UCO and Coastal. Coastal won the first game. UCO won the one that mattered. UCA lost. Gotcha. So I think 2 juggernauts in the league this year. UConn, UCO got the win. You keep it number 2. Pars, what do you think?
All right, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I did put App at 2, basically because I couldn't vote for myself. Knowing that how the league is and knowing how the votes go, App State will be number 2 going into next week, and it's fine by me due to the fact that we're getting down to this and they're 5-0. Right, we're 4-1, they're 5-0. So when you look at record, obviously people are going to vote for them. They've won multiple games off last-minute pick sixes or last-minute just fails by other head coaches in their heads. That's part of this game. It's all about a mind game. So App State is won based off of them being better on defense and having the mental fortitude to win in this league. So in my opinion, none of their wins have been extremely exciting. None of their wins have been extremely impressive. But the fact that a bottom tier team from last year is 5-0 right now is exciting. It's fantastic. If they're number 2 over me, that's fine. We play them this week, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy for them. Great people. Other than that, I know UCA lost. I'd vote Upper Iowa a little bit higher. NDSU did win, so I'd vote them a little higher. But other than that, like this is probably going to be how we're going to see it again. NDSU may be up 1 and Upper Iowa up 1, and App State up 1. Those are really the only 3 teams that should move in this week.
Yeah, probably not a whole lot of movement. I did want to we'll go over that later. Not all movement. Polls are pretty standard in this league. And like you said, good thing about the argument between number 2 and 3 right now is doesn't matter. We're going to find out in a couple of days.
Yes.
App State plays UConn, which is a huge divisional game. It's huge in multiple ways. That'll be a big game to watch out for. Probably the game of the week as far as just in general, not the scheduled game of the week, but it's definitely the game to watch this week for importance in the league. So with that being said, I think we can go ahead and move to kind of I've gotten so lost on this thing. Matchups for the week. And when, I know you don't want to do it. Probably it's not something you want to think about a whole lot, but we might as well get on to the UConn UCO game because it was the game of the week. It was the best game. It was the biggest game. So
I'm fine with that. We can talk about it.
I'm gonna be honest. I totally forgot about this game the night it was on. I got busy with the kids, and I 100% forgot that this game was happening because I was very much looking forward to it. I was like, can't wait for that game so we figure out what's going on. I was gonna scout you guys, like I'll scout UConn because I got a big game with you guys coming up as well, obviously, and I forgot about it.
It's fine. It's fine.
With that being said, UCO got the win 28-14. I did catch the end of it. It looked like Uri Weasley had not a great game, which in this league, obviously, quarterback play is king. You have great quarterback play, you're going to win a lot of games. I didn't see any stats on UCO. I did see them, I think it was like maybe try to run it up a little bit, which I was kind of like, that's rough. Maybe it was a different game. But Tuesday night was not a miss. But so Pars, what happened, man? How'd the game go? Thoughts on how your team performed?
Yeah, at the end of the day, we started slow. And when you start slow against a team like UCO, it really hurts you. We put up 14 points in the third quarter, basically. So when you come out and we start as slow as we did, George throws a couple interceptions, it really hurts the state of the team. It hurts the mindset of the team. Going into half, we had a great conversation. I yelled at my guys. I told them we need to show people why we're the best in the world. And we came out and scored 14 unanswered before they scored another one. We won the second half, but what does that matter if you don't win the game? So it really is, we can't start slow again. And it's just how it goes. In this league, you start slow, you're not going to win the game. There are a lot of fourth quarter comebacks are really hard. We saw UCO do it last year by down a lot. But comebacks in this league are pretty dang hard. Mm-hmm. So you start slow, you put yourself in a pit, especially against a team like UCO. It's going to be extremely hard to come back from. I think it's a different game come playoffs. If we play them again, I think it's a different game overall. You just can't start slow, and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, starting slow in this league is never good, especially as far as playing UCO. There's a team that can get going real quick and can stay going. Kind of look at some stats. Central Oklahoma 110 rushing yards and rushing touchdown, 210 passing yards. So not. I mean, they got some scores, but they weren't moving the ball. Not feel like I think we expect. Those aren't terrible stats by any means. That's probably a pretty average offensive game as far as yards go. 66% on third down, which is absolutely huge in this league. If you can stay on the field, keep your defense off field, you're going to be successful in the league. So 66%. I'm guessing it was better than 2 of 3, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was.
And then a couple sacks, and then they forced. I think here's another big one. And usually that's also an indicator of the game. They forced 4 turnovers. I think I saw Weasley had was it 4 interceptions? Okay. Mm-hmm. I thought I only saw 3, but they forced 4 turnovers, which is massive. Giving the offense extra possessions is never going to help. So, here's the good news for UConn coach and future Commissioner Pars. I'll give you kind of a silver lining here. 2 silver linings. All in all, the game doesn't matter because the polls don't affect playoffs, right?
Correct.
We know that, which is fine. Polls are still fun, but they don't affect playoff settings. And number 2, last year in this position, Coastal beat UCO, and the UCO won the game that mattered. National champions. So for UConn, this is not. It's a small setback, if at all. They got everything in front of them still. Everything that matters is still on their plate. You just got to regroup, go forward. They'll hopefully get a rematch in the playoffs and maybe win a championship.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the moment we woke up, the moment the team woke up, we were the better team. So we just got to stay like that the entire time, all 60 minutes, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, and just kind of finishing off the stats here. For UConn, only 17 yards rushing, so obviously the rushing game wasn't going. 4 picks, the pass game wasn't going. 20% on third down, which again, that's the disparity in third down percentage can kind of probably tell you how most of the game went. And then only forced the 1 turnover to the 4 you committed. So just a game that wasn't like everything was going wrong for Connecticut. And Central Oklahoma is, and again, until someone beats them, they're the best team in the league last year and this year. So
that hurts.
You ain't by both. It does hurt. I know UConn was riding high. You were feeling good and confident, but really, no, maybe it's good for you. A bit of a reality check, right? Back to basics. Back to hey, we got a long way to go to be where we want to be. So I think maybe this will be a good reality check for UConn going forward. I still think you're hands down number 2 team in the league. until maybe App State proves that wrong, I will stay with that. But so that will bring us to our next game. We're going to go over Upper Iowa versus Miami. And in this game, let me get back to the scores here. Upper Iowa won this game 33-3 in a blowout in a game that people thought would be a lot closer. Pars, what were your impressions on this game and this score line?
Let's be honest here. After playing them and after looking over their team, all the recruiting, all the scouting I did, Miami's got some of the best corners in this league. And they were getting torched by the likes of Vlad and by the likes of Johnson, their tight end. And the running game was working. Nothing could go wrong for Upper Iowa. That's the biggest thing here is nothing went wrong for Upper Iowa. Everything they wanted to work, worked. Everything they wanted to do happened. Like, it's just a once-in-a-lifetime game where they absolutely outmatched the other team.
Yeah, the score is ugly. I mean, it's never was really that close. Miami's a team that are going the wrong direction. I think we both think and agree Barack and then that coaching staff in general is a really good one. And they've got players, but there's been some turmoil with that program since their inception. Reed was their coach. Reed wasn't their coach. He was their AD. Barack's their coach. They brought in Maryland Cyrock. Cyrock is now out of Miami, so they got to find a new DC if they haven't. Maybe they have already, and I missed that news.
They haven't. They were going to try someone today, but he took another job.
And then there was the drama between Reed and quarterback Mason Taylor III, and now Reed's out as AD. And then I saw a post today by Mason Taylor saying if he doesn't start, he's out. He's transferring. It's just a program. It's a roller coaster. And they got their first win. They won their first game. Everybody's all excited. Everybody's all hyped on them. It's like, maybe they'll have this figured out. And it's just not gone right for them since. I do think they have a bright future. I think once Barack and Merrill and whoever the DC ends up being adjust the coach league, which we've talked about multiple times on this show, you have to adjust the coach league. It's not user versus user. It's totally different. Everything's different. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, Barack is, in my opinion, one of the best head coaches in this league. He does every single game basically by himself. He's figuring it out. He adjusts to the game. He's one of my favorite head coaches, and they're going to be all right starting next season. Also, I've heard MT's not starting next week.
Then if I saw a post correctly in Discord, he will be looking to hit the transfer portal, which is a
bad idea. Let's
talk about that. I want to talk about transfer portal stuff after we get to go through the matchups.
Okay.
But that'll bring us to another game, an App State and UCA in a game I think went the way everybody thought it would. App State gets the win pretty handily, 20-6, especially for App State, and the close games they've had is pretty handily. In the game did they get another pick six that kind of seal this game here? Do you remember?
Trig, I'm not gonna lie to you. I fell asleep during this game.
Yeah. Tuesday was the game I also missed, guys. I mean, look at the score, kind of going how we thought it'd go, right? I mean, yeah. I think we all thought App State's the better team. I think App State has put themselves firmly in that second tier, probably by themselves right now. They got 155 rush yards, which is what App State wants to do. They run the ball. 127 pass yards. 44% third down, not great. And didn't force any turnovers, though. So actually looking at the score line, I would think App State might have struggled in this game, but they pulled it out. UCA had 170 yards rushing, 100 yards passing, only 33% on third down, and then had 2 turnovers, but didn't force any. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah. Something like that.
We can go into that in a minute. Regardless,
Yeah.
there were 2 turnovers in the game. I don't know who forced them, who got them, but I have to get a stat guy on that. But yeah, so I think App State's firmly put themselves in the second tier by themselves after UConn and UCO.
Yeah.
And then UCA is a team that is doing better. It was on the uprise and probably still are. App State's not a bad loss. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you run into a better team, more experienced team, more experienced coaching staff, and you lose. It happens. But they're so firmly in the middle of the playoff hunt, so Nothing bad here for UCA. Nothing bad that is going to cost them their season, in my mind.
I mean, dude, in all honesty, let's be honest here. App State might be the best defense in the league right now. Multiple games of winning off of pick sixes. That's insane. I did it last year, but I was in the first 3 games. They're through 5 games of absolutely domination on defense. If you can't throw the ball at all on offense, I think 100 and something yards, you said, that's their most they've had this season.
Yeah.
If you can't throw the ball at all on offense and all you can do is run and you're winning games, that is an absolute testament to the defense on that team, the coaches on that team, to be able to do this. You're 5-0 and you're not getting a lot of lay down opponents, right? UCA came into this game hot. UCA came into this game winning 2 games, which we never saw them coming. And you were able to stop them in their tracks because your defense is so good and absolutely win the game just based off of running. This is App State's a defensive team that's defense wins championships. Everyone knows. You have to beat them. They're not coming in your building to beat you. You have to beat them. So it's not a bad loss at all for UCA. App State's just another caliber, like you said. I believe is us and UCO and then them. But
agreed.
Until we prove that or someone else proves differently, they're the best defense in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with. I mean, their defense has been lights out all year. Held us to 3, held Miami to 10, North Dakota State to 7, Montana 14. So yeah, and then held UCA to 6. So they're very very strange defense. Scoring points on them is a premium, and they run the clock out. So if they get up on you, you don't have time to score. So you think it gets people out of their rhythm. Yeah. Start passing the ball more. Really start just struggling to score, and that's where mistakes happen and quarterbacks mess up and cost you a game. So yeah, one of the best defenses for sure. Especially since I now have the John Grip defense. Doesn't sound good.
That sounds horrible.
But so yeah, they're one of the best defenses in the league. If you might be right, they don't have so far in this year the best defense in the league. But it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm kind of honest about this stuff. You tell me, I'm gonna tell you the offenses they face. You tell me which of these offenses is even top 5. Montana, North Dakota State, Miami, Georgetown, Central Arkansas. Is that the bottom half of the league of offenses? Or close to?
Yeah, except for you guys, it's one game that pushes you higher. But, yeah.
I mean...
Who have they faced? That's a good point.
I'm not saying that they don't deserve to win. I'm just saying the defense on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Central on the RFCL YouTube channel, their defense is going to get its first real test of the year, I think. I mean, I think it's the best offense they've played by far, and they're going to have a real test on their hands, so we'll see how that goes. It'll be a fun game to watch again. It's the biggest game of the week. Yeah. Looking at it, maybe Montana, North Dakota State, as far as playoff implications, might be bigger or same. But
yeah, I'd say the same.
As far as high-ranked teams, importance in division, App State and UConn's for sure 1A or 1B. Mm-hmm. But either interesting. I don't mean that's disrespect. That's just kind of looking at it like they haven't played an offense that it's like, this offense is really, really good consistently. With that being said, though, let's move on to the next game. Speaking of Coastal Carolina and North Dakota State. In North Dakota State's first win as a program, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, actually.
Big shout out to Coach Kearns and company. Starting to kind of figure things out a little bit. Scored 14 points, 7 on defense. They had a pick 6 for 7 of those points. Got a winning against the Coastal Carolina team that's been struggling all year. We all know Coastal Carolina struggles after last year's great run. But they'll be back. Correct play. What were your thoughts on this game as you watched it, and thoughts on North Dakota State getting the first win?
North Dakota State, after Coach Kearnsey came in, has been extremely gritty. Right, they're winning or staying in games based on grit. They stayed in the game with UCO for about 3 quarters. They stayed in the game, every game since he's been there, based off of the grit of the team. They finally went with Vince Young at quarterback. 2 quarterback systems don't work in this league. Please stop using them. I'm talking to you, Montana, and UND State. Do not do it. But they finally stopped doing it, went to Vince Young, and you saw some a little bit of success. And this was just a hard game to play, man. Like Coastal's defense, Coastal's offense, they're going to be hard for the most part. It's some of the greatest coaches in this league.
Mhm.
So you really, it's a hurdle to jump, and it's what they did. I can't wait to see them next week.
Yeah, just kind of go over stats, kind of tell the tape here. Coastal had 83 rush yards, 212 pass yards, 50% on third down, which is pretty good. And they had 4 turnovers though, which again is huge. 4 turnovers in this league is going to cost you anytime. Only forced 2. I don't know what those were. And then going down to North Dakota State, struggled on offense. 55 rush yards, 37 pass yards. That's not even 100 yards total for anybody that's good at math. Struggle bus on offense. They get a touchdown. 0% on third down. Did not convert a third down all night. And then got 1 sack, and then but they had 4 turnovers forced, and one of those was a pick 6 for 7 points.
Jeez.
So, I mean, that's just they're struggling on offense, but I think we all have had that struggle. So it's early on. Kearns is new to the league. He's not new to the mode, but he's new to the league and the sliders and all that. So they'll adjust. They're going away from two quarterback system. We got is that future commission dog? Future first dog.
She jumped up here. I love that dog. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. So yeah, they struggle on offense. But I think that's expected for new coaching staff. So it's nothing that worries me. They'll figure it out or figure something out. Hopefully, get some more wins.
I have full faith in both of these teams, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like Coastal, we know how good Coastal can be, and they won a national championship last year.
Yeah,
Just it's we all expect it. I think we talked about it preseason. I know I brought it up. Like they're dealing with a bad quarterback. They haven't dealt with that yet. They had the best quarterback in the league last year, best quarterback in the league last year. So like they lost him. They're dealing with a freshman quarterback. They're dealing with a quarterback that's not experienced, which we all dealt with last year, and they're learning how to deal with it now. They've had some good games. Once he gets better and they adjust, they'll be just fine. Like in next year, maybe the year after, I expect them to be just.
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
All right. Yeah,
YouTube
we're back
might
up.
not be back.
It should be in just a second. Let's refresh.
I don't know what's going on.
It's my internet. My internet it doesn't work when I want it to work.
Well, we're back now. We can go on to the next game. We're good. We're back. We're back on YouTube too.
They'll adjust and they'll be fine. Next year after, I expect them to be back in the title hunt. Right.
Oh yeah. I don't know what's going on.
It's my internet.
NDSU's getting a lot of 5-stars in recruiting too. They just got more.
Again, they're getting more. They recruit their butts off. Viewer question. We'll get to that after the next game. We can do that after this next preview.
Well, I'll probably answer it once we get to ours.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a good idea. So last game of the week was Georgetown, Montana. Pars, did you watch this game? What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, one team's better. It's just they're in a better spot. One team has coaching stability. One team has player stability. And at the end of the day, one team's imploding and one team is only getting better. These two programs are going in 2 very different directions. Georgetown's going to come out on top. Georgetown's going to come out on top 10 times out of 10, in my opinion. And the Grizz have an amazing team. Let's not sit here and act like they don't. Their roster, top forward to back, is good. They just can't do anything with it. So I'm not surprised by what happened in this game. I'm not surprised about the outcome of this game. And I think every single year until they figure it out, this is going to be the outcome of this game.
We did think we were a better team going in. I fully expected to win this game. I made some comments pre-game about not playing for them. That wasn't a shot at Montana for not being a good team or anything. It was just we just didn't game. We weren't prepared. Just because it's not a game that really is important to us right now. We have one game on our schedule that we're worried about. And that's UConn, and it's not. I mean,
week 7.
It's nothing to do with them. It's nothing to do with Montana. Nothing to do with UCA. It really doesn't have anything to do with UConn. It happens to do with division setups and what that game's going to mean for us. So So that wasn't a shot at Montana or Coach Jet. But we thought we were a better team going in. We were unconcerned about it. We got the win. A little closer than I want it to be. I've got to teach my defenders to catch a football. They are not good at it. Like they are exceptionally bad. But we'll figure it out. I mean, it's kind of the same for UCA. I was spoiler alert. I'm not preparing for UCA either. I have no tape on UCA. I'm not going to watch a tape on UCA, and we'll just let the cards lie how they may. What the cookie crumble where it wants to. So, we got the win. It was a good win for us. Keeps us going. Keeps our momentum going. Keeps everybody's heads up. And we didn't have Coach John. Coach John was gone most of that game. He was there for like half the quarter, and then they almost had a Posgate 2.0. Core came in, second half, did well, got us the win. So,
I mean, hey, without Vice, without Coach John, it's always hard, right? You're going into a game without the reigning, defending coordinator of the year, so it's going to be difficult. But the fact that you were able to pull it out, and again, I think you win that game 10 times out of 10 with or without John. So you got it done. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it was awesome. So let's get to next week's matchups. And the first one we're going to is Miami versus CCU in a game that can... Oh, not Georgetown. Gross. No, take them out of there. Get Montana out there.
While you're fixing that, it's not pettiness. It's realistic.
Yeah, like I wasn't being...
It's realism.
Trying to rude to anybody.
It's realism.
Um,
Anyways.
Miami, Coastal Carolina, which has, I believe, some playoff possible implications. No. So Miami is eliminated. Miami has been officially eliminated. Coastal can stay alive technically with a win. They have to win. And they're still technically, mathematically still in it, but not, I mean, they're basically out of it.
It's interesting.
They would need a lot to happen.
Yeah.
A lot to happen. But if they win, they're still in it. So they're not out. There's still reason to go for it. I mean, they need to win big. Right now, they're really behind on the minus 59 score differential. I'm looking at the RFCL hub while I go over those parts. I don't have it on the screen you're looking at, but
yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
I have it pulled up. But they're still in it if they win. A game that I don't think they will win. I think Miami might pull this one out. Coastal's defense has kind of struggled at times. Their offense has struggled at times. So is Miami. It's two teams kind of in the same place right now. Change that. I changed my prediction. I think Coastal wins this game. I think the coaching experience gets them to win this game and keeps them in the playoff hunt. What do you think, Bars?
I'm going to disagree. I think Miami wins this game just based off the strength of their team, right? We're going to see probably not MT3. We're going to see a senior pocket passer quarterback who's a better quarterback than Hoffman. We are going to see some of the best corners in this league going against Hoffman, who has not proven to be able to get anything done. This isn't Barry from last week. This is Jacob Hoffman, who has not proven a dang thing in this league. He's lost a lot. So we're looking at a quarterback who can't figure it out. His confidence is probably shot. He's going against probably some of the best corners he's played so far. And when you look at the teams, I just think Miami has a slight edge for me personally.
I can see that. It will be a good game. But I think you're kind of going with the Miami's probably the better players right now. And if Mason Taylor Third's not starting, that kind of changes everything as well. I think the coaching staff gets it done here for Coastal Carolina. Moving forward and keeps them alive for the playoff hunt. So it's a long shot. That'll bring us to the game of the week, in my opinion. There's already a question in chat about it. I'll talk about it real quick, and then let Pars chime in, and we can answer the question. App State versus UConn in a game that will decide really who's number 2 in the polls. I still say UConn is. Some people are saying App State. I think those people are from App State, so take it with a grain of moonshine if you're from App State. This game is going to be a tester. This might be the best defense UConn's played so far. This is by far the best offense App State's played so far. UConn's strength is their offense. There has been very high scoring. UCO is able to hold them in check and get the win. App State, their defense is by far their strength of their team. So it's me, the unstoppable force versus immovable object. You know, what's going to come out top here? I have a hard time choosing who might win this game. In a game that has standing implications. So the winner of this game will be number 1 in the East Division. They're tied right now at 2-0 apiece. UConn has the point differential edge right now by quite a margin.
By a lot.
By 19.
By 19?
Yeah, it's just divisional point differential. So how much he beat by Coastal and Miami.
Oh, yeah.
So give me UConn in this game. I think with the news this week, so some news this week, Coach Zach is out at UConn as OC. And Pars, you can talk about all this as we get to you. Coach Zach is out. I don't think they brought in a new one. I think Pars has taken over. I think they refocused. I think they have distractions out of their way. I don't think this will be a distraction for them. I think UConn focuses back in where they were pre-UCO. I think they get a win here, scoring about 24, 27 points, which I won't say is exposing the App State defense. I think it's just a really good offense. So I think UConn gets the win, takes a firm hold of the East Division, and moves on to the playoffs. Pars, what are your thoughts on this game going into it, man? And then you have that question in chat if you want to go and answer that as well.
Yeah, I'll do both. Look, I've been in this situation before, and I have a much better team than what I had last season. I'm 3-1, I believe, 3-2 as a offensive coordinator / head coach. So I know I can get it done. This is by far the best defense I've played against. I have nothing but love for Mason, Nicotine, and Monarch. However, I don't think they're ready for what I'm bringing. They're going to see something brand new from UConn. We've been running about the same 6 to 8 plays, which won't work anywhere else basically, but work here. So I'm gonna open it up, man. I haven't gotten a chance to open up this playbook yet, and I'm so excited. I've already added some things. I've already done what I know. I know what works in this league. I know what works for this team, and I'm so confident going into this. Nick Hassine said earlier, I'm gonna laugh when Pars says we beat him by 3 scores. I'm not gonna say that. You're the best defense I've played this season. I have nothing but love for you guys. I think it's going to be an extremely close game. I can see it going either way, and that's what scares me in this game. I want to be confident. I want to have confidence in my team. I do believe we win, but I think we only win by about 10. So it's really what it comes down to is, can we stop the run, which we've proven this season that's hard for our defense to do. But that's all they can do. So stopping the run when that's all they can do shouldn't be that difficult, right? But we just got to figure out offense and we'll be all right. The other thing is UConn versus App State potential championship game. Does that change? No, not at all. Because honestly, I'm taking both you and Georgetown with the same amount of merit. I don't care who I play in the championship game. If I get there, I hope I get there. I'm taking you both like you're both the best teams I'm going to play this season, and I'm going to absolutely run through whoever I have to do to get there. To the last thing, not worth the airtime.
Love it. So let's move on to the next game then. We're not even worried about that stuff. Upper Iowa versus UC. That team right there. Transition that. Transition this. Transitions are so easy. UCO versus Upper Iowa. And a game that is in the West Division. Not huge on standing wise. UCO basically has that the playoff spot wrapped up, the championship spot wrapped up. Have they played UCA yet?
Who? UCO?
UCO.
No.
They have. They beat them.
They have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just making sure I'm seeing it right.
Oh,
yeah, they played
man.
week 2. Yep. So that division is wrapped up as far as the winner of the division is definitely UCO. But Upper Iowa needs a win here. Upper Iowa going to 2-1, which is going to be rough for them to do. We'll put them in a tie for second. And we put them well above North Dakota State and Montana, who have a big game this week as far as who's getting eliminated. So Upper Iowa could use a win here. A loss would put them tied with the winner of that game. And you don't want to be in a tie for third place in the division. Third place division gets in, fourth place gets nowhere. So this is a big game for Upper Iowa. It's a tough one. They need to pull this out. Find a way to take down the champion. Find a way to bring the king off his throne a little bit. Central Oklahoma, business as usual, I think they come in, do what they do, and get the win. They're just really good. Upper Iowa's been kind of inconsistent this year. All right, Upper Iowa came in, they beat Georgetown. Good win against Georgetown. They beat Montana, another good win. Lost to UCA, and UCA's first win of the year. Lost to Coastal Carolina, who's not doing good this year. And last week came back and beat Miami. So really up and down year for Upper Iowa. Really, really need this win to keep going, to really solidify their playoff spot, playoff chances, and really make week 7 less stressful for them.
Yeah. Sorry, my head's in it, but I just got some really upsetting news from my assistant coach, Jara. First, I'll talk about this for a second. UCO UIU is a fantastic game. I have absolutely no clue. UCO is going to win the game, in my opinion. So no clues incorrect. But I have no clue what to make about what Barry does in this game. What Barry does in this game, this team only goes as far as Barry takes it. So UCO has not yet beat Marshall/UIU. So this is their opportunity to get payback for last season, and I believe that'll happen. I believe that'll happen by multiple scores. They're just the best team in the game right now. It's hard to beat them. And UIU, if Barry doesn't play well, they're not going to score any points.
That's
also,
true.
I have a little bit of a announcement to make right here, right now. I just got hit up with this. We talked about them earlier, which is why I'm bringing it up. Miami of Ohio got a new offensive coordinator.
Wait, Merrill's
Jara.
out?
Yeah.
Merrill's
starting
out at Miami?
Yes.
What
starting
in the world?
Season 3, Jara, my AC, who I was going to think about for OC, is taking a job at Miami of Ohio moving forward. He says, "Hi there, UConn staff. I just wanted to start by thanking all of you, especially Paris, for giving me the opportunity to join the RCL staff here and being able to be a part of a successful winning program. But with that being said, at the start of season 3, I will be moving on and heading to Miami, Ohio to accept a position as the offensive coordinator."
Well then.
Merrill is out
Let's
for season 3.
let's
Jara is in.
let's go through the matchups, and then there's a lot of news to go over. So let's go through the matchups, and then we'll deal with.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Let's do this first, and then we'll go over all the news stuff. I mean, there's a lot of news to go over. This game is a huge game in the East Division. Might be game of the week as far as implications, standings, playoff stuff. Montana versus North Dakota State in a game of winner is still in, loser is out. Both these teams are 0-2 in the division, and the loser will be 0-3. And if you're 0-3, you're not getting in the playoffs officially. You're out. So big game for both teams here. Montana really needs to get a win, try to figure out a way to get a win on the season. And this would be a perfect time to do it. I don't think they do. I think, much like Miami, that coaching staff and university in general is in shambles. Came out, related news, Triple Batman MacArthur is in the transfer portal officially. Multiple others have thrown their name in the hat for that. So roster's in shambles, the coaching staff, no one knows what's going on. Zach is taking over season 3, so can he make changes? Can he not make changes? Is Jet staying? Is Jet going? There's a lot of disarray, a lot of distraction. I don't know what their motivation is right now. And I think North Dakota State's going the way. You know, they competed against UCO. They really held UCO in check. Had a chance to end against UCO. Didn't quite pull it out, but had a chance. And then they came out and beat Coastal last week. I think we're heading in the right direction. I think Kearns and company are figuring it out, moving the right way, getting a lot of good recruits, a lot of good momentum. I think North Dakota State wins this game and moves on to week 7. And what will be a do-or-die game against Upper Iowa would be a huge game next week. What do you got, Pars?
Oh, I completely agree with you. Indy State wins this game for about the same reasons. I would like to say that Coach Mark Plays, former assistant coach of UIU, now interim OC going into next week for Montana. Another OC candidate that I was looking at gone. But anyways, he's going to help them next week going into NDSU. I just think it's too many different changes too quick. At this point, it's the end of the season. There's a lot of different changes, a lot of people learning coach mode, a lot of people learning the system, a lot of people learning our league. A lot of people learning our league.
Future Miss Mars already taking over. Already power hungry. already, I'm better than you in this.
So at the end of the day, I think NDSU just has the skill to win this game, especially with all of the benching that's going on at Montana. All of it. Like almost everybody's benched. So I think it's just gonna be so different that we're gonna see NDSU run away with this game.
Yeah, I agree. And that's going to be a huge matchup next week, which we can talk about next week. That'll bring us to the last game of the week is going to be UCA versus Georgetown. And I got to go for just a second. So once you start this conversation, and I will come take part of it when you are done. I'm going to get the transition right here. Georgetown should be unchecked, just like that. And that's going to go like that. And then we're going to transfer over. It's still broke. So we're going to do that like that. And now like that. And Pars, take over. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen here. If you don't agree with a single thing I say, if you don't hammer and under to anything that I say, this is what you do right here. Georgetown wins this game against UCA. Georgetown's the greatest defense UCA's played. They're not going to get anywhere. John is there back. Coach John, the offense hasn't figured it out since that 1 week. They were fantastic. However, you see what they're able to do. Parker Howell and UCA, I've doubted all season. They've been amazing considering what happened week 1. I never thought they'd win again. And we're sitting here and they're winning games, guys. They look good. We're not sleeping on UCA. I just think Georgetown is a step above right now. There's tiers to this league. As Trigger says, Georgetown is a step above UCA. And that's just how it is, man. If UCA can come out and shock the world right here, I mean, it's a non-division game. Right. So since it's a non-division game, the game doesn't matter. However, and it does matter because nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants that. Like it's just you sitting here. Nobody wants to lose. Georgetown walks away from this game though as the winner. UCA with a loss. It could be very close. I'm not gonna lie to you, based off of Hunter Redmond and everyone else. Trig's back, so I could stop running on and on and on. Georgetown wins this game, in my opinion. I don't know if it's gonna be by a blowout, but they win this game. UCA has been impressive. All right, guys, Trig's not back.
I am back. Mike muted. Yeah, so
Okay, cool.
UCA, sorry, is on a roll. They're looking a lot better than they did early season. Doing a lot better than anybody thought they would this year. And let's be honest about it. Parker Howell is still always a threat to have a game, put up a lot of points and a lot of yards, and really give your defense fits. Like I said, I have no focus on this. I have zero focus on this game. I've told my coaches I'm not worried about this game. And I don't mean that as a disrespect to UCA. I do want to win it. But I've got bigger goals in mind than beating UCA. It's just how it is. I don't have a goal beating UCA this year. So it'll probably get closer than it should be. I do still feel comfortable and we're the better team and we should win this game. Same with Miami. But if they beat us, it'll be on our lack of preparation and that's on us. I'm going to tell you like it is. It is what it is right now. That's my thoughts on this game. I am going to try and get Abigail more. Obviously, Derrick Henry showed out to be a giant stud last week. He was just gashing the defense, so he'll get more carries again this week. Maybe show some recruits. Maybe some recruits will answer my DMs after this game. Who knows? I've been totally ignored. It's been heartbreaking. But yeah, should be a fun game. Very excited about it. Hopefully, Coach John can make it. We can put that John grip defense on Parker Howell, but we'll see how that goes. And that is all for the matchups. So we talk about now.
Hit up by coaches.
Do what?
I'm getting hit up by potential OCs.
Oh, nice.
Everybody's talking.
Nice. It's always good. That can bring us to, I guess, some news. So we've kind of touched already on Zach's out at UConn. UConn's looking for new OC. Zach will take over Montana season 3. Cyrock is out at Miami. Merrill's out at Miami. You can talk about that for a minute. Merrill, that's news to me. Is that brand new news?
That is brand new news to me. Jar just hit me starting season 3. Merrill might be there next week and going forward, but season 3 Jar is in and Merrill's out.
So big moves there again. We talked about that in the first game. Miami's they're just in shambles. No stability since day one of their inception in the league. They're on the second head coach. They're now they're going through coordinators. Got talent. And we think Barack's a great head coach, could be a star in this league, but as far as coordinators, etc., and players playing or transferring, they are just not in a great place right now. In some player news, Chico Batman MacArthur is officially in the transfer portal, leaving Montana. 86 overall. He will be a junior quarterback when he gets on your roster. So in this league, you lose your eligibility, but you don't have to actually sit a year. So he'll lose his sophomore eligibility year. He'll be a junior, but he can play immediately next season. He's just a year further than what he should be. Future Christian Parks doesn't look happy about that, so maybe that gets changed. Maybe we get more realistic timelines here. So we'll see how that goes. And then Dawson Bordeaux will be a senior quarterback. He's leaving App State. He'll be a senior when he hits the roster. So,
dude,
thoughts on the transfer portal news?
Stop declaring for the transfer portal early. Wait for the season to end. Dawson, you've been there for 2 seasons. If you wait for the season to end, you do not lose a dang season. This isn't that hard. We got to talk, every single one of you. The moment I take the job, we will all talk.
So yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. But I like it. I like the drama. Gives us something to talk about. And let's talk about this. So, like, honestly, like, quarterbacks hitting the portal. Does anybody want them?
No.
Does anybody need
That's
a
the
quarterback?
hard part right now. Nobody needs a quarterback. I mean, Montana, because they're losing a 5-star. But they might get the new recruit that they got to decommit from Coastal. So nobody needs a quarterback right now. That's the biggest thing. Making quarterbacks doesn't help you at all.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Recruit. Why? I feel like I'm taking shots at people. I mean, why would you sign with Coastal as a quarterback? They've got a 4-star starting. They've got a 5. Yeah. I think everybody assumes Parker Howe is coming next season. I don't think there's a question in that.
No, like, it's I guess it is a question. No,
why would you go to Coastal Carolina as a quarterback? Like, you're just gonna sit.
I'm guessing there is a question in Parker.
Is there? I assumed it was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, but everything we've heard doesn't sound like he's leaving at all. I mean, it is Twist, so he's probably smart enough to wait until the end of the season.
Well, no, but it's Twist Jr.
I mean, yeah. When you have Jacob Hoffman, a sophomore 4-star pocket passer, and a potential 5-star recruit, what's the idea in getting Parker at all? I just start Hoffman again next season. He's going to be better. Also, Reed is suspended from the team. We can talk about that with CCU. So there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, Reed Kendall has been suspended for, I assume, talking about transferring. Not kicked off the team, though. No. So that's probably good for him. But yeah, so that's
quarterback-wise, don't be a quarterback. It's not worth it at this point.
Yeah, right now everybody's pretty set at quarterback. Other than Montana, who could be set pretty soon. I think everybody's pretty set at quarterback. Of course, UCA might need a quarterback if Parker Howe does leave. That changes the dynamic of things.
If Miami's benching MT3 and they don't have any trust in them, they could have a quarterback controversy.
Yeah, they got the second best running back in the game now, so that's.
All right, Mr. LT.
He's second best running back in the league, my man. Feed the kid the rock. Give him the ball.
Y'all gonna learn who Bryce Robinson is.
Man. Any other news you want to go over? Any other big news? What have we gone over? We're going over future commissioner Pars, Zach news, Miami's roller coaster of a coaching staff, transfer portal news. Any other news you want to go over?
Hold on. Let's talk about this for a second. UCO has 0 recruits. Dude, hold on. Time out. You're telling me that people aren't going to Alabama? Like, people aren't going to the best team?
Hold on.
They got somebody?
Hold on.
I got somebody.
They got a running back.
Announced. Okay.
The 3-star running back. I can't think of
Celeste must be a senior.
Who it is. Oh, James Stanley. Told me he signed UCO. Committed to UCO, I should say.
We're getting an argument, by the way, as Larry Larold, the head coach of UCO / brother of Miami, Ohio offensive coordinator, is going off on Miami, Ohio right now. We could go over some recruit news. For example, Reed's new center has decommitted from North Dakota State and will look to go further with his recruiting. Nick, who I thought just committed, pulled out his commitment and just released his top 6 order, which you are a part of. I'm not, which is fine by me. What is going on today, though? I feel like we had a few commits.
Nicholas Alexander is a
5-star
linebacker.
yeah, okay, never mind.
They're good,
5-star
that's
defensive end, Womack, committed to NDSU, who I was going after very heavily. He went there instead, which is fine. Have a good time, brother.
I would say again, like come to. I'm gonna use this recruiting pitch. Come to Georgetown. We have 17 sacks on the year through 5 games.
Yeah,
don't
but
think
it's
that counts
not
again.
like,
We're dominating sack. Our defensive line's stacked. Whatever. It is what it is.
Hey, dude. I mean, Thad Herman, a freshman 5-star, is getting a bunch of sacks. Like, you go there, you get sacks. You come to me,
Yeah.
you get pressure, interceptions, and you win games. You go there, you get sacks, and you win games. Really, it's just not a lot to think about. So it is what it is. I don't know why people are going elsewhere, but
I get it though. So like, I mean, talking about last year. So like, the best running team in the game, Upper Iowa, didn't get a running back last year. Multiple 5-star running backs, and not one with the best running team in the league at the time.
Yeah.
So just because of different reasons, you know.
I think we're good on news after that. A lot happened, it feels like, but it feels like a
been a
lot
busy
happened
week.
in one night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been busy. So with that, kind of wrap up the show here. About to hit an hour, which is probably a good show time. Open up any questions from chat. Any questions, thoughts, questions about games, players, coaches, anything you want to bring up, we can talk about.
Chat, I gotta be up at 4 a.m., so let's get this going.
Yeah, I'll give you like 3 minutes to get this done, and then we're done.
Dude, it's been a wild season, man. I'm so happy to be back with season 2. It's been such a good season. Also, I'm losing OC candidates left and right.
You'll find somebody.
You know, just wait. I'm gonna get my little brother in here. My little brother,
Mart. What's a Mart?
it's him going to Montana as the interim OC. You don't know much about him, so it's not really worth. He's good. I mean, he's good. He knows a lot about football. We've had a lot of deep conversations about football. Good for him. I know the reason he's going there. The reason he's going there is not Zach. The reason he's going there is not Blake. He actually has a legit, really good reason to go there, and I hope he's successful. I hope he's amazing in that position.
I think I know that reason.
I put it in
thought so.
committee. Yeah.
Which I tried to escape. I was sucked back in.
Yeah, I was told to bring you back in. And as of right now, I just got to do what I want. I just got to do what I'm told.
Pars will never keep an OC for a season. Oh, yeah, you got 30 seconds to get a legit question or
Bro.
topic in. I'm calling it.
Reed, everybody who's interested, you come to me, you get a head coach job. Let's just be honest here. 2 OCs, 2 seasons, 2 new head coaches. You come play for me, you get a head coach job anytime you want.
True Batman. If you're drinking beer, that's why you're losing. Abby Yosef is on vodka and Trin the whole game. So if you're only on beer, that's why you're failing at Montana. So step your game up. Be an adult. Drink some real alcohol.
Yeah. But, dude, I was going to say, I'm like, at this point in the league, there's the Pars coaching tree. Like, I just have everybody.
That's my goal. That's my goal. I want to have a giant coaching tree.
I have a coaching tree going on right now.
We've already discussed MT3 not starting and entering the portal immediately.
Yeah, talked about that already.
Yep.
Entering the portal immediately is not smart. Wait,
It's an awful
until the
decision.
end of the season. Also, don't do it because then you're a junior and nobody needs you to play for them.
It doesn't matter. He's a freshman, so if he, as of current rules, if he transfers regardless, he's losing year eligibility. So I guess it doesn't matter for him.
Don't do it, Mason. Nobody needs you right now.
Yeah, bad time to do it.
Try to win the game. Try to win the job next season. Don't move it all until after next season.
All right, boys and girls. No one's bringing me anything big. I'm gonna call tonight. That's it for us, guys. I'm Trigger. That's future commish Pars right there. It's been fun. It's been awesome. We'll be back next week on Coach's Corner, talk about all the big games, everything happened. Until next time, see you later.
Are we off?
I'd rather be a dreamer.